Not all students are meant for that 4 year university or college experience. And that's okay. It's really about finding the right solution for your students so that they can pursue the career and the future that they want. And so in today's video, I'm going to cover a few alternative educational programs that might be a better fit for your student. Now, make sure you hit subscribe because every week I'm releasing a new strategy on how to work towards a debt-free degree. Hey there, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System and Debt-Free Degree Lab, where we redefine paying for college to help families build strong financial futures, rather than ones where their students are paying on loans for decades to come. Now, we primarily do this with scholarships, so if money is the reason that your student does not want to pursue a 4-year degree, then make sure you check out our free scholarship webinar. It should be somewhere on the screen, but we'll also link to it in the description. But that is where I'll give you exactly where to find legitimate scholarships that may be able to close the gap and get them to where financially a 4-year institution is for them, if that's what they desire. Now, a very quick note, if you are an international student, you might find some helpful tips on this channel, but this is really geared towards US citizens or those with visas to study in the US. Now, for those that regardless of the funds, want to know about some alternative educational programs, let's go ahead and jump in. Now, as I said earlier, a traditional educational program is pretty much a 4-year program, and they're not meant for all students. However, they've been sold like that, right? This has kind of been the pipeline over the last couple decades of just pushing students into a 4-year college or degree, even if they don't know what they want to be, which may not be something that your student is interested in or that you're interested in, paying $160,000, $200,000 for them to figure out that that's actually not where they want to be. Now, there may be a few reasons why a typical experience is not something that your student wants. Maybe, again, it's that money side and they're unable to afford this. And if that's the case, then again, make sure you check out not just that free training I mentioned earlier, but all of the videos on this channel because we have tons of different strategies on how to make college more affordable. But that said, maybe it's that they just do not want to invest the money in a 4-year experience. Okay. Or maybe it is just something that they're not interested in, or maybe it doesn't match their skill sets. Maybe the idea of sitting in lectures, writing papers, studying for exams is just not for them. They'd rather something more hands-on, more tangible that they could be working on. Or maybe it's the fear of the unknown. Maybe they don't want to go away to school. Maybe they're unsure if it's the right thing for them. And so they want to kind of wait before committing to that 4-year experience. No matter what the reason is, we have a few alternatives, including some that may get your students' feet wet and may guide them to a 4-year experience, but some may not. So let's go ahead and jump in. So the first one is very common. I'm sure you've heard about it. These are trade schools or apprenticeship programs. So most of the time, these are very specific to a career field or a line of work. These are excellent for students that have an idea of a specific area of work that they want to go into and they need some sort of specialized skill. This is often, they require less time than a 4-year degree. I've seen them as soon as maybe 12 months, 18 months, 2 years long. So this could be a way faster path to starting a career path. It can be for things like welding, massage therapy, cosmetology, becoming a line worker or a firefighter. There are so many different areas that really don't require necessarily that 4-year degree, but do require some kind of skill set, specialization in that area. Now, some of these can lead directly into a permanent position, or maybe your student can even be paid while they're going to school by a company in that area. For example, the Norfolk Naval Shipyard Apprenticeship Program actually will cover all tuition and book costs while their student is in the program if they receive a C or better, and they can also be employed receiving a pay of $15 or more per hour while they're in the program. So in this instance, these companies know this is a direct pipeline to employees for them. So they're willing to invest in a student, which can mean that they'll get the specialized skills that they need, and they also do not have to take out student loan debt, and they can typically start working sooner than a typical 4-year grad, which means they can start saving sooner, et cetera, et cetera. So there could be a lot of benefits here. Now, the next one is community college. Now, you might be thinking, community college, but isn't that just the same as a university? But that's not necessarily true. So not every job requires 4 years. Some community college programs are 2 years. I've even seen this with nursing. I've seen this with physical therapy. I've seen this with accounting. So they have sometimes 2-year programs through community colleges. Also, this can be a way more affordable way for a student to get a degree anyway. Now, what your student may find when they do the 2 years is that, hey, I've got a great grasp of this. I think I can do 4 years. And if that's the case, they can talk to the community college about a bridge program where they have an agreement at a 4-year school and all the credits will transfer. So that way they don't lose any of the credits they took. Or maybe they just take the hit and they transfer to a 4-year school. But either way, this is a way more affordable option, especially for those that are unsure of their capabilities or unsure of where they want to go. And so they really don't want to jump into that 4-year university. Now, the great thing here is that financial aid is often available. So merit money, FAFSA money, even scholarships. So this, again, can be way easier to close the gap and to be able to pay as they go rather than having to take out that debt. Now, the other thing is that typically students go to a local community college in their area, so they can often stay at home, which means extra support from you as a parent or just saving money by living with parents. There's also a lot of benefits there. Now, the third one I want to cover is online school. So this is something that, of course, boomed during COVID. Some amazing institutions came up with online programs, and they've stuck around even though COVID has pretty much passed as far as school opportunities. So this could be a great solution for students that do not want to go in person, or maybe they live in a rural area and they want access to an institution that is completely out of range. So this really opens up the doors to a lot of students. Maybe a student, maybe you or your student work or have children, and so going to class really is not an option. Then again, online schooling can be a great fit. Now, there are scholarships available for online colleges, and so actually I created a video on that, which we will link to. Again, you should see a pop-up somewhere around here. We'll also put all the links that are important in the description. Now, a fourth and final alternative educational program that I want to cover is our coding schools or developing schools. So this is great for students that are interested in computers. Maybe they're tech savvy. They've always just kind of understood it. Even maybe if they're into gaming, maybe this is an opportunity for them. This is something that I believe President Obama really pushed, that he was working with tech companies where he was trying to get them to accept students with coding school certificates rather than requiring 4-year degrees. This was to make jobs more accessible to students that really couldn't afford college. And so since then, we've seen a lot of coding schools popping up. Now, they do have a large investment up front, but they can be pretty short. I've seen 4 months, 6 months, a year-long coding schools. So it's pretty fast as far as a turnaround as to when your student can start making money. And a lot of them even have direct feeders where they are helping them get a job right out of the program or an internship right out of the program. That said, also, coding and developing, we know that's not going anywhere, right? And so really the sky is the limit with job opportunities in this field. And so in that case, the return on investment is pretty much guaranteed as long as your student does what they need to do, studies the way they need to study, and actually learns the skills they need to learn. So this fourth option can be phenomenal for students that are tech savvy, interested in computers, but don't really want to do that 4-year experience and have to do the gen eds, as in like the histories, the English, the maths, that really don't pertain necessarily to the degree or to the career path. Now, comment below, did I miss any? Is your student considering an alternative education path? And if so, what are they considering? I would love to hear from you, and I'm sure all the other parents and students that watch this video would as well. Maybe it'll give them an idea that they didn't even think of. So again, comment below if your student is considering a program like this, and if so, what is it? Share it with us. So that said, a 4-year institution is not right for every student, despite what a lot of people say. So if your student is like that, then an alternative educational program might be a better fit for them. Like I mentioned, there are multiple different avenues to go this way, and some are very specific to career paths that they want if they know what they want to do, but some can be a little bit more open to students that aren't quite sure. So there's a lot of opportunities here that can save your family tens of thousands of dollars. So I hope that gave you a few ideas. Now, make sure you hit subscribe because again, every week we release a new strategy to help your family work towards a debt-free degree. So especially if money is the reason reason behind this, then you will certainly want to watch the rest of the videos on this channel. And again, don't forget about that free training and the important links all in the description. All right, I'll see you in the next video.